Welcome back to What If Anime Beast What Ifs, the best YouTube channel. I'm not the best YouTube channel, you know that, right? There's multiple other YouTube channels in this world. The greatest channel that you could go to for the best What If anime content. So, yeah. And today, anime What Ifs. Today we're gonna be starting a new What Ifs called What If Naruto Was an Assassin? Part 1. You're probably wondering, what if Naruto was an assassin? That's way too obvious. Yes, I'm gonna make a what if Naruto was an assassin. I mean, he's gonna be an assassin. He's gonna be doing that stuff. Let's subscribe. And seems like we have a message from our character that's gonna be in this what if. He says, like and subscribe. Believe it. Like and subscribe. My name's Naruto. Who's a monkey? Like and subscribe. Believe it. And also turn on all notifications. Believe it. So let's get down to this what if. We start this what if with a blonde boy. Whisker marks. Blue eyes. This young boy, we all know as Naruto. This blonde boy gets kicked off the property that he was in. He gets kicked off, and people starts calling him Demon. Demon starts yelling as Naruto sits down and as the boy sits down and starts to weep, and starts sobbing and eventually starts crying, since nobody will bother to help him. They walk off in their own thing, like the boy does not even exist, that he was just snapped out of existence, as he has just been kicked out of an orphanage that the third Hokage has set up for him. As Naruto starts weeping even more, as he knows he can't handle himself anymore. As the blue Starfire blonde boy walks off. He sits down, and he just continues to cry. As this blonde boy, he then gets up after 1 hour and then goes to his famous ramen shop, Ichiraku Ramen, as he remembers an older man that he's been going there since when he was a kid. As Naruto walks in, as the blonde boy walks in, as the old man greets him, as there's an old man behind the counter. An old man behind the counter holding a spoon. A cooking spoon, as he says, "Hello, Naruto, how's it been?" As Naruto then says, as the boy we now know as Naruto, then says, Hi, old man Ichiraku. And Amy walks out and says, as a girl with brown hair, red eyes, walks out and says, "Hi, Naruto," as Naruto says hi. And yes, Naruto's gonna be 3 and 4 years old. Yes, 6. As he then sits down, and he says, as the old man says, "What shall I give you to order today?" And Naruto says, 20 bowls of ramen. 25 bowls of ramen. As the old man is like, 25, but you don't eat that unless something bad happened. And Naruto says nothing, as the old man gives him 25 bowls. As Naruto eats 1 bowl and wraps the other bowls in foils of paper, and the old man says, Naruto, what's happening here? You usually just eat all of them. So Naruto says, deciding to save them. And the old man says, Naruto, come back here. What happened? As Naruto says, and he says, I was kicked out of the orphanage. As the old man says, orphanage? Why? As he's like, they called me a demon and they kicked me out. As the old man gets pretty mad. The reference Naruto just told. They called him a demon, so they had to kick him out for no reason. And the old man says, Naruto, you could stay here. He's like, I don't want to be a burden. It's like, you have a shop to run. I can't just stay here and be here all day. Naruto exclaims. As the old man sighs when he says, but not. As he then sighs, he then says, okay, kid. Okay, as you wish, Naruto. As Naruto walks off. As he then walks towards a tower, towards the tallest tower in the village. As he keeps walking. Meanwhile, we skip to summer place. Location, the Hokage's office. As we see an old man with a beard, a little pointy, sharp beard, with a hat and wearing a white long cloak with a red kimono inside. As the bottom, the red kimono over a red kimono. As the hat that he's wearing has the kanji for fire. As has the kanji for Hokage, meaning fire shadow. As he's right now, as the third Hokage is right now looking at his sworn enemy. As there's heaps of paperwork, as the third Hokage then says, paperwork, you shall not beat me. Paperwork, you have truly almost outmatched me. But I got many men here, and I shall not be defeated by you. As the Hokage pulls out a pen, anime style. He pulls out a pen looking like it was a sword. As he then starts writing. As he then starts swinging the pen like he's swinging a sword. But then he puts the pen down on the paper and he starts ferociously writing every single thing he needs to put. As he then finishes and he says, as he then looks like he's been overwhelmed by his paperwork as he continues to do it pretty fast. As then Hiruzen starts panting and then says, paperwork, you were a good fool. As there's a large pile beside his desk of all the paperwork he has done. As the Hokage says, soon I might not even die from old age. I might die from paperwork exhaustion. As the Hokage sits down and poofs on his pipe. And his pipe poofs a bit of smoke. As then you see a blonde boy with whisker marks, blue eyes, walk in the room. As he then says, as the Hokage then sits up and he's like, hey, Naruto, what's happening? As he says nothing, as you see Naruto carrying a bag of ramen bowls, as he's like, Naruto, what happened? As he then says, I was kicked out of the orphanage. They kicked me out. He's like, but I put a direct order that if they kick me out, I'll shut down the orphanage. As then he's like, Yeah, but it seems like members of the civilian council came. And then Naruto then Hiruzen says, that damn civilian council, me and them are gonna have a serious talk. As Naruto then says, as he then sits down, as Naruto sits down in the Hokage's chair, as the Hokage sees how down Naruto is, as he then says, as this is Naruto, so it's gonna be okay, I'll find them. And Naruto looks at the other Hokage with tears, and he then says, Lord Hokage. He then says, Old man, Grandpa Hiruzen, why do they hate me so much? As he then says with tears, and then he's like, don't worry, Naruto, they don't hate you. He's like, they don't hate you. I'll find another orphanage. And Naruto says, no. I'm done with moving from orphanage to orphanage. It's really getting on my nerves. So I want to have my own house where I can stay, where nobody can bother me all day. I could just stay here and rest and live in peace. And the Hokage is like, but Naruto, you can't do that without a supervisor. I don't need a supervisor. I already know how to cook, but you only know how to cook ramen. It's like, I know how to do other things. I've also took some cooking books when I went to that orphanage. I snuck some out. As the Hokage says, but still, you're way too young to be living on your own. He's like, stop with the way too young stuff. I can do whatever I want to get better. As he then says, Hiruzen then says, but Naruto, I can't do that. He's like, why not? They won't leave me alone. And plus, the academy years are soon gonna catch up. And if I don't find a place to stay, I'm gonna be coming to the academy and kids are gonna be bullying me more and more. As the Hokage then says, sighs and takes a puff from his pipe again. As he then says, fine, Naruto. I'll give you a place, a small place that you could stay. As Naruto's like, that would do. At least one place where it's only for one person. If it's run down, I'll fix it up myself. As the Hokage then sighs, as he walks Naruto to this place that he was saving to give Naruto when he was 18. But you see, the Hokage pulled a little of strings to make a place where Naruto can live as soon as he's ready to move out and stop living in orphanages, as he can just stay by himself. So he settled on a little house, an apartment that he was gonna either give to Naruto or Konohama before he died. As Naruto then walks in the house, as him and Hiruzen arrive at the place that they need to be, as Hiruzen takes out keys and puts them in the lock and opens the door. As then he opens the door and him and Naruto enter. As they enter in the house, exploring the giant villa. Not villa. Sorry, I mixed up my script with something else. It's not for what I was writing a. I was writing a rough copy of this. So yeah. As he walks into some sort of a small house with a couch, TV, bed, room, and it was clean, most of all kitchen utensils. As Naruto says, this will do.